A new study shows that consultants using AI are radically more effective and faster than their peers who aren't. Welcome back to the AI Breakdown. One of the biggest questions surrounding artificial intelligence, especially when you get outside of the questions of whether it's going to extinct us entirely, is how it is going to impact the professional world. Now, within that, there are multiple sub-questions. Specifically, what jobs and industries will AI almost entirely automate away, versus what types of roles will AI change the balance of what people spend their time on? Of course, underlying all of that is an assumption that artificial intelligence is going to singularly improve how we work. In other words, that it actually has the capacity to be transformative. Certainly, one of the things that has markets most excited about AI is the potential boon in productivity that it represents. For example, back in May, legendary hedge funder Paul Tudor Jones said AI could bring the type of long-term productivity boon that we just don't see very often. And yet, by and large, so far, when it comes to AI's impact on our work, the evidence has been largely anecdotal. In other words, when one uses ChatGPT to change the speed with which they accomplish a task, or to expand the breadth of ideas they bring to a particular situation, we have a sense that this is a transformative technology. But that's different than actually studying it with some sort of parameters that allow us to quantify what that change actually looks like. Wharton professor Ethan Mollick back in February captured this sentiment a little bit when he started playing around with Bing AI, which, as we would later learn, was actually testing GPT-4. He asked it things like, could you conduct a SWOT analysis of AI use in agriculture? And I want to compare AI use in agriculture across different regions, and pointed out that every consultant in the world was probably shocked when they saw this type of results. He said, I'm sure that some of the data is not correct, but this feels like magic. Well, today we are back with Ethan Mollick, and we're talking about a study in which he and a number of colleagues actually tried to put some numbers around just how powerful that magic actually is. In a blog post, he writes, a lot of people have been asking if AI is really a big deal for the future of work. We have a new paper that strongly suggests the answer is yes. So basically what has been happening is that Ethan has been working with a group of other social scientists and the Boston Consulting Group, turning their offices, as he puts it, into the largest pre-registered experiment on the future of professional work in our AI-haunted age. He says lots of important and useful nuance in the paper, but here's the headline. For 18 different tasks, selected to be realistic samples of the kinds of work done at an elite consulting company, consultants using ChatGPT-4 outperformed those who did not, by a lot, on every dimension, every way we measured performance. Now, first, to understand this study, we have to understand how they were attempting to construct the test itself. Ethan and his colleagues refer to something they call the jagged frontier. And the idea of the jagged frontier is that when it comes to what AI is actually good at, it's not necessarily always super clear. The example that he points out is when you give AI two tasks that might seem really similar. To use his example, writing a sonnet or an exactly 50-word poem, they're actually on different sides of this frontier. It's very easy for AI to write the sonnet, but it's very hard for it to write the exactly 50-word poem because AI doesn't think about the world in terms of words, it thinks about it in terms of tokens. So in order to test the impact of AI on knowledge work like that done by consultants, what they did was create a variety of work for a fictional shoe company, a set of work that they had worked with the BCG team to design to accurately represent what their consultants might be asked to do in the course of a normal engagement. There were 4 different categories of tasks: creative tasks, analytical tasks, writing and marketing tasks, and persuasiveness tasks. So creative tasks were things like proposing ideas for a new shoe targeting an underserved market or sport. Analytical tasks were things like segmenting the footwear industry market based on users. Writing and marketing tasks were things like drafting press releases. And persuasiveness tasks were things like, quote, pen an inspirational memo to employees detailing why your product would outshine competitors. Now from there, they took hundreds of BCG consultants and randomized whether they were allowed to use AI or not. This wasn't any sort of fancy model, just GPT-4, the same thing that anyone who's willing to pay $20 a month to OpenAI can get. From there, they measured performance in a number of different ways. They measured how long it took to complete certain tasks. They measured the number of tasks completed overall, given an overall time limit. And they measured the quality of the outputs, which was rated both using human and AI graders. Which, as an aside, they found interestingly that human and AI graders agreed with each other in most cases. Now this gets us to the splashy results, which are going to show up, I would imagine, in lots of headlines and tweets. The TLDR, as Ethan said, is that consultants using AI had marked improvements from consultants that weren't using AI. They finished 12.2% more tasks on average in their allotted time. The tasks that they completed 25.1% more quickly. And based on that human and AI quality grading, the consultants using AI produced 40% higher quality results than those who didn't use AI. So conclusion one clearly seems to be that having access to AI tools does improve both the quality of the work and the speed with which it gets done. One interesting piece of nuance within that was that AI didn't serve to expand the range to the highest performing to the lowest performing consultants. In other words, it didn't make the best better than it made the worst. Instead, AI acted like a skills leveler. The team assessed all the consultants at the beginning of the experiment, and those who were in the bottom half of skilled participants saw a significantly bigger jump than those who were in the top half of participants. The bottom half of skilled participants saw a 43% increase in performance when they got to use AI. Meanwhile, the consultants who were in the top half based on that initial assessment still saw a meaningful jump of 17%, but obviously that's a lot less than 43%. Now, Professor Mollick barely has time to get into that part of the results, but obviously that alone has huge implications for things like the cost structure of consulting, the competitive landscape of consulting, and just in general performance when it comes to knowledge work. Now, what about negative sides? One of the things that they tried to uncover as part of the study was whether there were types of work where humans without AI would actually outperform humans with AI. Ethan writes, "We identified a task that used the blind spots of AI to ensure it would give a wrong but convincing answer to a problem that humans would be able to solve. Human consultants got the problem right 84% of the time without AI help, but when consultants used the AI, they did worse, only getting it right 60 to 70% of the time." Part of the team's speculation is that over-reliance on AI can indeed backfire. In a separate experiment from one of the researchers who was also involved in this paper, he had uncovered that recruiters who were using high-quality AI became, quote, lazy, careless, and less skilled in their own judgment. Quote, "When the AI is very good, humans have no reason to work hard and pay attention. They let the AI take over instead of using it as a tool. He called this falling asleep at the wheel, and it can hurt human learning, skill development, and productivity. In our experiment, we also found that the consultants fell asleep at the wheel. Those using AI actually had less accurate answers than those who were not allowed to use AI, but they still did a better job writing up the results than consultants who did not use AI." I think what actually matters about this study is the combination of the clear definitive results that these consultants using AI did outperform their peers who weren't allowed to use AI, but combined with the propensity for those using AI to become over-reliant on it. A lot of the output of this type of study is going to be manifest in terms of how companies think about bringing AI into their organization, how they prepare their workers to use it, how they figure out training to minimize the downside and this propensity for falling asleep at the wheel. And of course, this is also going to filter down into educational structures as well. Now, what's very clear is that the consulting industry is going to be an absolute sandbox for watching how early adopters change an industry. Just over the last few months, we've seen basically all of the big consulting firms announce major AI initiatives. Last week, EY unveiled their $1.4 billion AI platform that they're training all 400,000 of their workers on. In August, McKinsey debuted Lily, which they call, quote, our generative AI tool that's a researcher, a time saver, and an inspiration. Now, I've spoken before about how tools like Lily, which bring together information from across a big consulting organization's siloed projects and put it into a place where that knowledge can be shared, just makes a ton of sense in terms of institutional learning being able to influence new projects. Lily, for example, is trained on more than 100,000 documents and interview transcripts, including a ton of proprietary information that wouldn't be available to some outside model. In June, Accenture announced that it was going to be spending $3 billion on AI, including doubling the size of its AI-focused staff to 80,000. And if nothing else, there is a clear business logic to these big announcements, given that, as the Wall Street Journal put it in June, quote, consultants emerge as early winners in generative AI boom. Lacking in-house know-how, companies are turning to outside experts for help putting ChatGPT-like tools to work. In the same way that enterprises are turning to the software vendors that they already know, their cloud providers, for example, to help them deploy and develop AI models, they're turning to the consulting firms that they already trust to help them figure out the business processes around using these new AI tools, which is creating the financial feedback loop for these consulting firms who are spending big bucks, reskilling their entire workforces on AI. Now, of course, one interesting subpart of this story is that some have wondered if AI is actually a threat to management consultant jobs. In Sifted from FT in August, Tim Smith asked, will AI kill the management consultant? Management consultants are some of the highest paid, highest charging professionals in the world. Could AI be coming for their jobs? The article discusses how even before the rise of AI, there had been downward pressure on the expensive price tags for these consulting engagements, given structural changes in things like remote work. And this to me is where we get back to this skills leveling question. A lot of what those big firms charge for is the premium associated with their brand. Does that premium change in a world where AI is leveling the playing field? Or are brands still going to be shorthand for quality because firms will still assume that McKinsey using AI is better than some other random firm that they've never heard of using AI? And of course, this gets back to the tools question. Can companies like McKinsey keep the premium on their services because they're using their own proprietary AI trained on consulting engagements of the like that enterprises are hiring them to do in the first place? Anyways, I think it's a fascinating microcosm of these larger questions of how AI will impact work in general, but white-collar work specifically. And I'm really glad that we're starting to get more actual studies around these topics, so it's not just podcasters speculating. That is going to do it, however, for today's episode. I hope you found this interesting or useful. If you did, chuck me a like or a subscribe. And until next time, peace.